They say that in the mountains of Oaxaca, when the wind whistles like a crying woman and the sky burns red at sunset, the spirits of the three shadow sisters still wander the earth, searching for the man who dared to steal from them. Some say they punished him, others say he is still running. But everyone agrees on one thing: greed can make a man blind until the darkness teaches him to see. In the quiet village of San Lazaro lived a man named Mateo Salinas. He was not poor, nor was he rich. He had enough to live a peaceful life: a small house, a loving wife named Lucia, and a modest maize field that yielded just enough for the two of them. Most people would have been content, but not Mateo. His heart whispered constantly, almost like a restless spirit in his chest. You deserve more, much more. He envied his neighbors when they bought new oxen. He resented his cousin who built a bigger house with brighter walls. To Mateo, every blessing he received felt incomplete. Every joy tasted dull. Every sunrise reminded him of what others had that he didn't. And slowly, quietly, greed settled into his soul like a seed waiting to grow. One evening, as he walked home from the village tavern, he overheard two old men whispering about the legendary Tres Hermanas de la Sombra, the three shadow sisters, ancient beings, spirits older than the mountains themselves. According to the old men, these sisters lived deep in the Sierra Madre, offering unimaginable wealth to those brave or foolish enough to seek them out. But their gifts must be returned after one full moon, one of the men warned. If not, the shadows take what is owed. Mateo heard only the promise of riches, not the warning. Greed covered his ears like wax. Before sunrise the next morning, he packed a bag. Lucia, half asleep, asked where he was going. He lied smoothly, telling her he was searching for new land to expand their farm. She smiled softly, unaware of the darkness her husband was chasing. Mateo followed an old trail into the mountains, one the villagers avoided for generations. As he walked, the forest grew darker and quieter. The birds stopped singing, the wind faded. Even the insects seemed to watch him silently. Hours passed before he reached a cave carved into the mountainside. Its shape resembled an open mouth, wide enough to swallow a man whole. Then a whisper drifted out, soft but cold. Enter, if you seek what men were never meant to hold. Mateo stepped inside. There, standing in the darkness, were the three shadow sisters. Tall, thin, their bodies wrapped in black veils that flowed like liquid night. Their hair fell in long, tangled waves, almost touching the floor. Their faces were hidden, but their presence felt ancient, heavy, and powerful. The eldest sister spoke first. We know your heart, Mateo Salinas. The second added, we smell your hunger for wealth. And the youngest circled him slowly, whispering, and we can feed it. Mateo fell to his knees. He begged for riches, land, gold, prosperity. He wanted everything he had never earned, everything he believed the world owed him. The eldest sister lifted her hand. Shadows swirled around him, cold and sharp, as if the darkness itself was testing his soul. Then she produced a small object wrapped in black cloth. Inside was a jade amulet, beautifully carved with ancient symbols. This is the eye of the moon, she said. With it, gold will follow you. Crops will obey you. Luck itself will kneel at your feet. Mateo's eyes burned with desire. But hear us well, the second sister said firmly. When the full moon returns, you must bring it back. And if you do not, the youngest whispered, the shadows will come for what is owed. Mateo nodded, but in his heart he was already planning to keep it forever. When he returned to San Lazaro, the transformation began. His withered fields grew tall and golden overnight. His animals multiplied. Silver coins seemed to appear wherever he worked. People traveled from nearby towns to buy from him. His name spread quickly. Lucia watched in amazement. How is this possible? She asked. Mateo smiled proudly, refusing to speak of the amulet hidden under his pillow. Good fortune came to us, he said. At last. The full moon came and went. Mateo did not return the amulet. That night, a cold wind crept through the village. Dogs howled. The temperature dropped suddenly, as if winter had entered a summer night. Shadows stretched unnaturally across the ground. Mateo woke to find the three shadow sisters standing silently inside his home, their veils fluttering without wind. The moon has completed its circle, the eldest said. Return what is ours, said the second. But Mateo clutched the amulet and shouted, No! Everything I have now, my wealth, my success, it all came from this. You cannot take it away. The youngest sister's voice sank to a chilling whisper. Then we will take something equal to what you owe. And they vanished. The next morning, Mateo's fields turned black. The maize shriveled and crumbled at a touch. His animals grew sick. His luck reversed so quickly it felt like the earth itself was punishing him. Deals fell apart. Money slipped through his fingers. People whispered about curses. Still, Mateo told himself it would pass. He believed he could outsmart the shadows, but the sisters had not come for his land, nor his animals. One night, Lucia collapsed. Her skin turned pale. Her breath became shallow and cold. Her eyes lost their warmth. She called out his name weakly, trembling in pain. And suddenly Mateo understood. The shadows had come for what he loved most. He panicked. He begged her to stay awake. But she was fading fast, her life slipping away like water through his hands. Desperate, Mateo grabbed the jade amulet and ran toward the mountains in the dead of night. Rain fell in heavy sheets, warm and strange, as if the sky was crying for him. He stumbled through mud, rocks, branches, gasping her name with every step. When he reached the cave, he threw the amulet inside and screamed, "Take it back! Please! Just let her live!" Silence filled the mountains. Then the three shadow sisters appeared behind him, their presence colder than the rain. "You kept what was never yours," the eldest said. "And the shadows came to collect," said the second. Mateo fell to his knees, sobbing. "Take my wealth, take my fields, take everything, but please, not Lucia." The sisters looked at him for a long moment. Then the youngest spoke softly, almost kindly. "Your heart has remembered love, and love is stronger than greed." They reached out their hands. Shadows rose like smoke, wrapping around the amulet until it dissolved completely. "You will lose your wealth forever," the eldest sister said, "but the one your greed almost destroyed will live." Mateo bowed his head and accepted his fate. The shadows rushed toward him, and everything went dark. When he opened his eyes, he was lying at the foot of the mountain. The storm had passed. He ran home, terrified of what he might find. Lucia was sitting outside their house, alive, healthy, sipping warm tea. She looked up with gentle confusion. "Mateo, I had a strange dream. I felt like I was dying. Then suddenly, I felt warm again." He embraced her and sobbed into her shoulder, promising himself he would never again chase what could cost him his soul. By morning, all his riches vanished. His fields returned to normal. His house, once large and shining, appeared humble again. The villagers whispered about his rise and fall, but Mateo didn't mind. He worked with honesty and humility. For the first time in his life, he felt free. Sometimes children in the village asked him, "Señor Mateo, do you fear the three shadow sisters?" He always smiled sadly and replied, "No, I do not fear them. I fear the greed that led me to them." And that is why, even today, when the wind cries through the Sierra Madre and the sky turns the color of embers, people warn each other gently. Beware of the shadows you invite into your heart, because they always come to collect. Story by African and Asian Folktale by Sora.